What is up, my beautiful people? Hope you had a great weekend and are having a marvelous day. Exile451 here with yet another daily dose of Reddit Happy. Speaking of happy, that's the exact subreddit we're going to today. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. I've hit 7 months without a single panic attack or case of long-lasting anxiety. Last year, for about half a year or so, I had really bad anxiety. When it first started, I didn't understand what was happening to me. All I knew was that I felt weird, and it was a bad kind of weird. It frustrated me to not understand what I was feeling, just that I felt strangely off sometimes, and it felt like it was on a health level, and I didn't like it. I don't know what I realized first. That when this happens, my heart was beating instantly fast, or that the emotion that I was feeling felt close to fear. It went on like that for weeks, maybe even a month. During that month, it got worse and worse, and I realized something really wasn't right, and I wasn't just overreacting. It became hard to breathe during those episodes, and it would usually be promoted by or prompt overthinking. And I felt like I wasn't really in my body. I constantly felt afraid for no reason and noticed I started to spend more time frowning than I did smiling. A lot more time. Then, it got even worse. I began having these episodes when I showered. At first, it was once every 3 or so days, then every 2 days, then every day. I would classify them as episodes at the time because I just couldn't explain it. And these episodes were way worse in the shower. And I feel like that was because there was no one around to watch it happen. I would start to lose my breath, find it hard to breathe, feel my heart pounding, feel so scared, feel like I wasn't even in my body. I felt so detached, so alone, and I would cry so hard, I would almost throw up. All I would feel like doing is sitting down on the shower floor and curling up into a ball. This got so bad, I dreaded showers. Absolutely dreaded. That continued for months and months. At a certain point, probably 2 months in, I realized that those episodes were panic attacks, and I had death anxiety. Being an overthinker and an atheist, I've never had a way to grasp the idea of what happens after we die, because I believed nothing would happen. I was embarrassed. That's all I felt for a long time, because I thought it was the dumbest thing to have anxiety because of a fear. I hated myself for being that way, and I was so frustrated with myself. It was probably around 4 months in when I finally began to talk to someone about it. My online friend I've had for many years. I knew she had had terrible stress and anxiety issues in the past, and I needed answers to my questions about anxiety problems, as well as an ear to let it all out. Plus, I'm still a minor, so I live with my parents, and I love and appreciate my parents, but I've never liked being emotional, especially with my family. So I've always dreaded talking about these things with my parents and kept it a secret. I just wasn't ready to tell them. During the shower I took later on that day, I didn't have an episode. It really helped, and over the course of 2 months, the frequency of my panic attacks slowly faded away. I still remember the time I cried at school during my recovery. I wasn't sad. I was happy. I was walking back from lunch to my classroom building. We have to walk outside to go between the two buildings about a quarter mile apart, all alone since I forgot my backpack at lunch, so my teacher let me go grab it. And I remember I was smiling, and I noticed I was smiling, and that I felt so content halfway in. And that meant the amount of progress I was going through was astonishing. I hadn't smiled or felt happy in the past few months at that point. And all I felt was fear or sadness. It made me so happy, I cried all my way back to the building. I started talking to a camp friend about my anxiety after that as well. And from there, it was all uphill. The smile gave me so much motivation, it was a nice reward. Never had I been more grateful to be able to genuinely smile. It took time, and my spring sports season also really helped with my recovery, but I eventually made it. Once I was crying myself to sleep daily and relying on rescue pastilles to go through the school day, and now I'm crying tears of joy at the thought of my recovery and enjoying every second of my life. It's been 7 whole months since my last panic attack, and I couldn't be happier about where I'm at in life right now. Long story short, I had anxiety and terrible panic attack for months and spent months trying to get better. It's been 7 months since my full recovery and last panic attack, and I'm extremely glad about it. I'm so grateful for where I'm at now, and I couldn't be happier. For people experiencing the same or similar things, please, please, please talk to someone about it. If you don't feel comfortable telling your friends yet, you are always welcome to talk to me. Talking was what got me to where I'm at, and believe me when I say that it helps a lot more than you can imagine. I went from feeling at my worst to my best in just a few months because I talked about it. And the 2 friends I talked about it to, I don't see regularly because one of them is from summer camp schools and the other is an online friend. Please also find what works for you. For me, exercise really helped ease my stress and anxiety levels, and it seems to be the case for most people. Well, OP, first off, congratulations on getting over that. Those kind of mental issues, those kind of episodes are not something to be taken lightly, and they're extremely difficult to overcome. So the fact you were able to rise above that and get over it is extremely commendable to you. Congratulations on that. So many people suffer silently with these issues. They are overwhelmed by it, and yet they have to keep pushing through day after day after day because they're so afraid to talk about it to people because of that fear of judgment and that stigmatism around mental illness. You're so right that the important thing is to just open up to someone, anyone, about this, and just be honest, get it off your chest, and start that healing process. For you to realize this as young as you are, being a minor, is an incredible thing. I am so grateful that you were willing to share this story, and that you've been able to experience recovery this impactful that you feel it can help others. Thank you again so much for sharing, and I wish you all the best and hope things are going well. After a long time of so many things going wrong, my life is finally going right. It's like I've been living in a hole for a few years and forgot how to be human. That's what I thought to myself today. I play video games a ton. I'm an introvert. I'm pretty shy, and almost all human contact was either my family, friends, or a small community of homeschoolers. Over time, my friend count got lower, and the only friends I ever hung out with were some people just to kill time with. My dad was a loving and caring father during our childhood, but in our teens, he grew to be quite distant. There have even been a few drunken outbursts of rage that my brother and I experienced the brunt of. And practically every word that comes out of his mouth is a lie, over-exaggerating stories to the point of fantasy, even defacing other people. At the very least, I've learned to become a good critical thinker. My love life has been a complete disaster as well, which includes losing one of the closest friends I ever had and never really having a close friend again. The last years of my high school career, I felt like a wanderer, going from class to class, talking to people, but never connecting to anyone, staying alive, and never truly living. I was pretty satisfied with it because I dropped out of high school a year early, and I've always been very talented academically. I've taken a total of 9 classes now, including calculus, chemistry, and English, and I've maintained a GPA of 4.0. I decided to finish the general chemistry series this summer, and I had an exam today that I felt like I did really well on. Last week, I hung out with one of my classmates outside of class for the first time. It felt like it was the first new friend I had made in years. One I actually enjoyed hanging out with. I'm friendly with a bunch of people at college now, having small chats constantly, waving hi, watching people smile when they see me. Today was my mom's birthday. I went to 3 different stores and got her a card, angel food cake from the store she likes, and her favorite flavor, cinnamon saltwater taffy. I drove around in my own car with my own license, going places I decided to go, buying what I decided to buy. And when I showed her what I bought, she almost cried out of joy. When I was younger, I tried to move a super heavy retaining wall rock on a hill, and to be honest, I might have gotten killed by that thing when I lost control. But today I saw that rock, lifted it off the ground, carried it all the way up the hill, and set it down where I wanted it to go all those years ago, which felt like such an accomplishment. My wonderful mother has always been there, always ready to help me when I need it, giving me hugs and telling me I'm loved. Without her and my brother, I might have even committed suicide by now. My jerk of a father swimming in his pool of lies was, no surprise to any of us, cheating on her. So right now, we're getting our house ready to sell because of the divorce. But we're making it. We're all getting through. My wonderful mother working over 12 hours even on her birthday. And today, I realized that my life is only just beginning. I'm 18. My journey to independence starts here. And it made me genuinely happy. I feel like my life is becoming my own accomplishment. And I think that's all I wanted in all those years of on and off depression. I'm overcoming my anxieties, I'm opening myself up to people, I'm learning how to be a healthy human again. Today, I'm happy. And I think it'll finally last. You know, OP, that story that you told about moving that rock is so metaphorical for where it seems like your life is at right now. Almost being crushed by all the things that you were going through, all the pain and hardship of what you were trying to do. And now you've been able to, of your own free will and strength, move that rock to where you wanted it to be. It seems so fittingly apt for exactly what you've gone through here. Life can suck sometimes. We all go through terrible things, and some are worse than others, yes, but everyone experiences hardship. That's how we know when we're in the good times, and that's how we can know how to appreciate them. It is good to hear that things are picking up for you, that your life is finally kind of coming together, and that you've realized you've got your whole future ahead of you to make what you want of it. Go out there, seize the day, do the great things that you want to do. Don't ever hesitate, and your life will be wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I wish you the best, and I hope you're doing well. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. I truly appreciate all of you showing up and supporting the channel like you have been each and every day. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Now go out and have an awesome day. I'll see you all tomorrow. Until then, I'm Exile451. Stay beautiful, people.